All right, well, this is something I'm super excited about. Olivia Newton-John was one of Delta Goodrem's childhood heroes that helped shape and inspire her career.
Yeah, Delta and Olivia are close friends, and now Delta is telling her life story here with us today. Take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your first day in Xanadu. Now let's give a big welcome to our leading lady, the immensely beautiful and talented Olivia Newton-John. I'm just sorry we haven't found you a leading man.
Who needs one?
Anyways, you need someone to rehearse with, so...
And Delta Goodrem joins us now. Welcome! Oh my gosh, so tell us about this. This must have been an experience of a lifetime to be able to play this role.
It was. It truly felt like a dream come true. I felt like it was a full circle moment where a woman who I'd just looked up to my whole life, I'd been completely influenced by as an Aussie girl, just as she was also such a role model, and then became a dear friend of mine through music through the years, and then to have this moment to play her life story was very, very special.
Because one of the very first songs that you ever sang in public was "Hopelessly Devoted."
Definitely.
So how crazy is that to be able to do this now?
Amazing.
It's been very overwhelming with a lot of, like, my heart just seems to be smiling the whole time.
Yeah.
I honestly felt like when we got to film that if no one ever saw this was like the best time of my life, getting to dress up in these costumes going back to the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, Greece and Xanadu there. I brought Xanadu as well, you know.
I know,
but
I love
it was definitely, you know, a really beautiful and very special time at the moment to get to do this.
Yeah, and so you guys are close friends, but was there something that you learned about her that you didn't know through playing this role?
I think I didn't. I mean, I feel like what people hopefully will feel when they walk away from the film is that through any challenge, every time, that she always works out a way she can give back to people, that everything happens for a reason, that there has to be a reason why she's in that spot to be able to make good for everybody else. And I thought that was an overwhelming kind of message throughout the piece as well. And you get to learn about the songs, how they came to, like, physical, you know, getting like, how did this come into her life, or all the songs. Yeah,
it's so crazy too, because there's 5 different decades throughout this movie.
Yep.
There's so many similarities. I mean, you both survived. You know, you both had to deal with cancer.
Yes.
It's just like even the record label, everything is just so similar. So you are like the perfect person to play this.
And the resemblance. I'm watching this, and I'm like, you guys look so alike.
Well, I didn't know it until recently, but now getting to play the role, and then going deeper and finding the little mannerisms, and felt like I was getting to study.
I always love watching biopics like that when you almost forget that it's an actor. You really think that that's the person playing that role.
That's the idea. So
and you were both kind of a little hesitant at first to do this because you are really good friends with her.
Yeah, well, it came from actually, I mean, our paths had crossed a couple of times, but then when I got diagnosed, she sent me a beautiful letter saying some beautiful affirmations. But yeah, then we both spoke about it in ad nauseum. Like, I was like, okay, so am I doing this? I don't want to, like, if I did a bad job, I would break my heart. I love her. But I took it on as, like, I started to protect it. Like, I felt like very protective over her and the role, and just giving it my whole heart and soul, and finding the essence of where she comes from in these scenes. And in the scenes that were heartbreaking too, the challenges and playing a lot older and playing a lot younger, and finding that sort of thread through the movie was...
I was gonna ask you, like, having her blessing to do it, because I know a lot of times when people take on those roles, they're like, did I do a good enough job? Was that okay?
Well, my loyalty is to her first and foremost, and we all just had such a wonderful time. The whole crew, everybody together was very, very. We felt like we were all together in it, so just celebrating, you know.
And you kept in contact with her from the very first day of filming, which is so great.
Of course.
Once she asked, you're like, I'm totally on board.
Yeah, no, it was definitely like, am I doing this? And it was a very, I'm very loyal to her, so.
Yeah, that's the best songs. Just when you just said physical, like in my head right now, it's like, let's get. I can't get it.
I love you, magic. You're the one that I want.
And to do Grease is just like amazing. It's so fabulous to be able to do that and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Well,
so surreal.
When I got signed to Sony when I was like 15 years old, obviously I've been so fortunate to have a long career in my home country. And when I got signed, they said, who would you like to be when you grow up? And I said, Olivia Newton-John. And then a little while later, it literally happened.
Soak it into the universe.
How was it like recording the soundtrack?
It was just pure fun, you know, being a songwriter my whole life. I've always written my songs. My albums have always been my own. And then to be able to do the artist that was such a big influence on me, it really did. When Olivia and I got in the studio, when you see some of the behind the scenes, it was quite emotional. I felt like I'd just done this whole journey. And also I looked crazy because people in her life like Greg from Gaia, when we did this charity in Melbourne, I'd be like, oh, hi, Greg, as if I knew them really well now. Like, as if we had this whole other friendship conversation. They'd be like, hi, Delta. So I definitely had some pretty funny moments with it all.
Oh, that's so great.
The soundtrack was good fun. We had a ball. We actually recorded some of it here as well, and with a dear friend of mine, John Shanks, who does a lot of incredible records. So, yeah, it's really fun.
Oh, my gosh.
So, favorite song?
Ooh,
that's hard to pick. Do you have one?
I think physical? Let's Get Physical. Yeah. I think I picked it. I think that's it.
I'd have to say Hopelessly Devoted.
That's a great one, too.
Yeah, every time it's like I feel it every time I get the feels when I hear it. Just like, oh, that's probably my favorite.
I'd go Honestly Love You.
Yeah. Well, and
I saw what you sang before you wanted to go for a dance. So I was like, well, we could change up the song. Honestly Love You is mine. That's where it breaks my heart in half. But otherwise, we can always have a dance for you.
Oh my gosh, you're amazing. And Delta's soundtrack called I Honestly Love You is available now on iTunes and streaming services.
And so, will you stick around?
I'd love to. Thank you.
Yay! We're gonna get a little performance later on from the movie, so yeah.
All right.
I'm excited for this one.
Yeah. Delta Goodrem's film Olivia Newton-John, Hopelessly Devoted to You, will premiere tomorrow night at 8 p.m. on Lifetime.
Delta and her guitarist are going to leave us with one of the songs from the movie. Have a great weekend, everyone. And for more on our stories, you can go to NBCCALive.com. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe I've hung around here a little more than I should. Both know I've got somewhere else to go. And I've got something to tell you that I never thought I would. And I believe you really ought to know I love you. I still love you. I'm not trying to make you feel uncomfortable. I'm not trying to make you anything at all. But these feelings doesn't come along every day. And you shouldn't blow the chance when you got the chance to say I love you.